Huh?
Oh, line.
For the delay, we had this really cool funky software that we were going to use to project onto everything and show PowerPoints and all this stuff, but it has let us down. So instead, we'll kind of do things a little bit more simplistically, but it's youth, right? It's youth. So for some of you, you're really used to youth. You're used to us meeting downstairs in the coffee lounge, me basically going through a topic and explaining, you know, a game to try and get us warmed up, and then doing some sort of discussion around the really relevant topic and all of that jazz. But today, it will be pretty much the same. Yeah. But we're going to really need you to engage in the comments so that we can get this running. So, number at the same time. Now, how do you do that in the comments, you may ask? Well, basically, if you're typing a number at the same time and you send it, then we would have 2 of that number in there, which would be bad. What we want is to just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we have 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, then we know that too many people said 2 at the same time, for example. So we're going to give you 2 minutes. You were going to be able to see a timer, but now you're not. So it's going to make it all the harder. We will just suddenly make you stop. So let's go. Starting from 1, please. That would be awesome. I'm so excited.
Has anyone got it?
Oh, well done, Katie. Come on.
Situation going on.
Definitely.
Oh,
no. We've got 2 3s. We have to start from the beginning. 1, come on. 2. Ben. We're only going to let this go for like another minute, because actually really we should just get into the program.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm delaying this much is because I don't remember what's next. So 1 moment.
So, no, back to start.
Okay. Well, we failed, but that's okay. Failure is a part of life. So basically, I've introduced us-ish. This is Encounter Youth. I'm Abz. This is Kunle. And this is our living room. We're normally in the church coffee lounge, but we are here. You should feel blessed. And so basically today, we're going to talk a little bit about fear. Or anxiety, or any of those things that you might associate with that. So just as I say that, comments again at the ready. Could you please look in your body? Is 1 for feeling anxious. We'll wait. I don't know.
Do you want to say the question again?
So, if you're feeling anxious, what do you experience in your body? So, I'll give you 1 example. Some people get a dry mouth when they're feeling anxious. That's 1. They might need some water quite quickly.
Tummy ache.
Heat. Yeah. But I think it will just keep playing after we get that.
But that's fine. Ah, we're back. We're back.
See, that is your body's response to threat. So if there's something, say a lion entered a room and it was going to attack you, then you would want to know that you can either fight the lion or run away. So personally, I would run. I back myself for running a lot more than fighting lions. But I know also, get my heart rate pumping so that I can have more of my water move from my mouth. I don't need that in my mouth anymore. It's just going to sweat. And so that I can keep cool as I'm running. And what are some of the other things we mentioned? So like the butterflies, when the blood leaves your stomach, and the tummy ache as well. But then also some people notice that they feel a bit tingly, like quite shaky. So that might be because actually a lot more of your like adrenaline and things have gone into your arms and legs so that you can like run or fight or whatever. So we kind of basically understand that experience of anxiety, but we had some scenarios for you about what you do when you feel those things. So, Oh, behind me, I have a really handy PowerPoint that you can't see. I apologize. So, scenario 1. If you notice that you are feeling restless, you can tell there's something bothering you, but you're not really sure what it is, right?
Would you A, start playing a game on the console, you'll be fine in an hour, or B, tell a friend or parent about it and try to work out what's wrong, or C, take some deep breaths and try to work it through on your own, asking what you would do.
A bit of C and a bit of B we've heard. Yeah.
Any others?
Yeah, the more just try work it out. Try and sort it out. Yeah. Okay. Should we move on to the second
Next
scenario?
question, yeah, why not?
So imagine you've been finding it really hard to sleep recently, and you've noticed that you kind of stay up till like the early hours of the morning, like say 2 or 3 in the morning. Do you A, try and get some prescribed sleeping pills? B, stay up late scrolling on social media? You're up, you're awake. Apologize for the slow Wi-Fi. This was not anticipated, was it?
No.
Slow upload speeds.
So
Move on to scenario 3, just so we don't spend too much time in this zone. So a particular subject, maybe a subject at school, a relationship with someone, the current pandemic makes you feel anxious. So do you A, do you B, think about it all the time, imagine lots of different scenarios, talk about it loads, it's just everything? Or do you do anything differently? So C is other. Do you let us know in the comments if there's anything else that you would do to cope with maybe what's going on right now or something else that is really bothering you? What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
A was to avoid it at all costs. Pretend it's not a thing. Don't allow others to talk to you about it. B was to think about it all the time, imagine lots of different scenarios. And C was to just tell us what you do, give us another option that we might not have thought of. Kunle would have gone back to the console version. He would have just played a game, forget, eat. Yeah, that can be one that people have as well. So why am I talking about anxiety? Well, some of us, I don't know, not everyone, has felt some type of anxiety coming into this whole social distancing pandemic scenario. And maybe actually you think your anxiety doesn't really look like the things that we discussed before. It doesn't really seem like, you're getting twitchy or shaky or your heart's racing all the time, because it's not really like the threat is close. Instead, what we can have is this kind of like gnawing anxiety that can be quite low in the pit of our stomach, just this kind of dread about what might happen, what might be coming. And so one of the things that I know can be quite useful for me, that we would have described a little bit at youth and maybe spoken about, is looking at the Bible and what the Bible says about that. So the first verse that we're going to, as some of you who know me know, is my favorite verse of all time. Maybe it says a little bit about my own anxiety levels, but we'll put that aside. I'm buffering, apparently. We'll just pause. Oh, okay. It says, let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with those in this situation, even when it's not that clear to us, even when we're not really sure that we see him moving in those situations, but because we can know that the Lord is near, then do not be anxious. But instead, by prayer, I don't know what to do, you can start doing the prayer and the petition at the same time. It's like, these are the things that I really need you to support me with, Lord. So that's one that I think can be really helpful.
Good example. God, can you sort out this Wi-Fi, please? I'm going to write that down. I'll write it down on my phone as a petition to God. Be like, God, this Wi-Fi is terrible. Lord, would you sort it out? And Lord, would you take it completely out of my mind? And may I not be anxious about it, but Lord, may you take complete control.
Yeah, thank you. And then with thanksgiving, it says, present your request to God. So the thanksgiving has come before the request was even given. And I think really, I'm really thankful for me to be at peace. I just know actually I've done what I can do. I'm going to let God do what he can do. And so when we look at this situation where we're all being encouraged maybe to go out a little bit less and to do a lot more things from home and on the internet, and maybe even everything else that goes on is still within his control, even if it's not in mine. Then the next bit of that verse, I think, is quite helpful for us in terms of what to do when we have handed everything over to God. Because you ever get to a bit where you've prayed and you're like, well, nothing's changed yet. So verses 8 and 9 say, finally thing is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. And then whatever you have learned or received from me, this is Paul speaking to the, and loads of people seem to be doing things and getting on with things that are good, even in a circumstance that doesn't feel good. And so those are the things that Paul encourages us to then think about. So he writes, whatever is true, noble, right, pure, writing down things that we can be grateful for, noting down the things that are important to us, the people who have been helpful to us, just being grateful and thankful for those things begins to change our focus from what we can't control that's going wrong to what we can control and to what we're grateful for. And that can be something that just begins to loosen the knot in the pit of your stomach when you're feeling uncertain about some of these things. Okay, can we move down? So this morning in our main, actually you can still be still and know that he is God. Yes, thanks, Kunle. You can still be still. That if you were there with us on Friday, we listened to Hillsong singing Be Still. And so we were going to just encourage you really and play that. And Kunle was going to go through the lyrics and I was going to play and sing without being seen because of all the techie stuff we'd planned, remember? However, yes, we shall. Yeah. So I'm gonna get the keyboard on my lap. What I really want to encourage you guys to do, more than anything, is if we were together, maybe we would have broken this up a bit more, and eventually, towards the end of 40 minutes, we would have come to a calmer place, and maybe found corners in the coffee lounge where you can stand and kind of listen to some of the words of this song, and then I would have played something from Spotify. Can't do that, copyright issues, but we can still definitely sing. We can still find stillness in our homes. I don't know where you're watching this video, but I just really want to encourage you, maybe close your eyes, not just because I'll be self-conscious, but because actually it helps you that we are still all here. We're still here to pray with you and talk to you. If you're not usually involved in youth and not part of Encounter Church, cope and talk in these situations. And yeah, I'm just trying to think what would be a good, yeah, before I wrap up, because you can stay on and listen to the song, or you can choose to go and play it elsewhere. I just want to remind you that tomorrow we are on Instagram Live. Our Instagram account is at Encounter Church. No, it's not. It's at Encounter Youth UK. No spaces, no capitals, no nothing. Just at Encounter Youth UK. Our timetable of everything that will be coming up this week is on our website, which is at Encounter Church and forwards encounterchurch.uk on Tuesday. Catching up on Thursday as well if you want us to pray with you, or to talk maybe a little bit about this message or maybe other things that you've been going through over the week. And then Friday is our big Zoom for our youth group, where we'll all come together, play some games, do some we were going to have a screen that was going to come up. No, you do that. I can do this.
Cool. Some song lyrics.
Be still my heart and know
And trust
what the Lord has said is done. You silence all my fear. I won't be afraid. Don't let go. Be still my heart and know I won't be afraid. Surely love and mercy, your peace and kindness will follow me, will follow me, will follow me. Surely love and mercy, your peace and kindness will follow me, will follow me. Oh, your love surrounds me, your love surrounds me. Oh, your love surrounds me, your love surrounds me. Yeah. Your love surrounds me, your love surrounds me.
your love surrounds me.
Surely love and mercy, your peace and kindness will follow me, will follow me. Father, Lord, we thank you that whatever the circumstances, Lord, you are with us. You've known what's coming. You've known how you were going to look after us, Lord. And I just pray that we wouldn't be anxious, that we would be able to present all of our worries to you, that we would be able to petition you and keep talking to you even though we're not sure what's going on, Lord. And God, that we would thank you for being with us, for being our strength. Lord, that people who don't know you, in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. So thank you guys. That's it from us today. It was very different to what we had planned, but I'm really hoping and praying that you still got a lot out of it, that we can build on this in the coming weeks. The important thing is that we still meet together. We're not isolated because of this social distancing, but actually we can still be connected online. We can have community, we can have fun, play games, make fun of each other, as I can see in these comments as well, and just be family no matter what's going on. So we love you and we look forward to seeing you soon.